everybody, welcome to our channel, Simple Quality Living. Today we're going to be talking about how to preserve eggs for the winter.
As you can tell by our eggs over here. Look at all these eggs that we have been saving, just full from top to bottom.
We've been needing to preserve our eggs for a while now, and we've never tried this method, but we're going to experiment and see how it goes. It's called water glassing. A lot of people have done it and a lot of success from it. So we're going to try it and see how it goes.
Yeah, and apparently this method actually helps preserve your eggs for about 8 months, like 8 to 10 months. And the eggs are still really good. So yeah, let's get going.
So what we're using is water and lime. That's all you use for this solution. So we have 2 gallons of water and 8 ounces of lime. So the ratio is 1 quart to 1 ounce. So you just mix the lime. Here, this is the lime we're using right now. It's
pickling lime or hydrated lime. There's also slaked lime. And all this is calcium hydroxide, so it goes by different names. But this one's pickling lime. This is a really good brand, apparently, what we've heard. So we're going to try it out.
Alright, so you just add your water and then you mix it up with whatever you want to use. You just pour it in there.
You can see all the dust here. When you use water for to submerge your eggs, and just make sure that you use good purified, if anything, at least filtered water, because you don't want any of those contaminants or any of those harsh chemicals to interfere with your eggs.
So just get it good and mixed up, and then we'll start adding the eggs. And when you add the eggs, you just want to make sure they're clean, but don't wash them. If you wash them, then the protective coating on the eggs will be washed off and they'll go bad.
The purpose of the coating that the chickens have is when the eggs come out, it actually coats the pores that are on the eggs. So if you wash these eggs beforehand, it will take that away. So do not, if you're going to do this, do not do it with store-bought eggs because they actually wash theirs.
Okay, then so you just go to your eggs. We're just going to start with our freshest ones over here in this bucket and just inspect them. If there's a little bit of dirt, if there's any dirt on it, if it comes off easily, just wipe it off. But if it needs to be washed, then it won't work for this process. And you just gently put them in there one by one so they don't crack.
As humans putting the eggs in the bucket, I'm just going to talk about the winter time for a second. So yes, so the reason why we're doing this, obviously to preserve, it is getting colder now, so we're trying to start saving our eggs. Because in the winter time, chickens start laying less eggs, and some even stop altogether. And so, we're not, for our home, we're not going to use any type of extra lighting in the winter to make them produce more eggs, because chickens were created the way that they were created, and so we're not going to force nature when it's not necessary. Unlike, big companies out there that have eggs all year round, they do use a lot of lighting. But for our homestead, we're just going to do this as naturally as possible, just the way the chickens were made and created, and we're not going to force them to do something that's outside of their nature. If there are eggs that float, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad. It just means pretty much just the freshness of the eggs. Now, I guess if you want to save all your eggs that are floating as well, you can use them, but it'd be kind of a pain because you do need them to be completely submerged, covered up in this lime. For us, we don't want to deal with that, so we're just going to save all of these ones that are floaters and use them up and put the rest that can be submerged in the bucket.
Probably have 3 dozen in there now.
3 dozen. and we'll continue on.
Alright, so we pretty much filled this bucket up. Once we get some more eggs, eventually, I mean every day we will, we'll just continue adding to it until it's full. So you might be able to put another dozen eggs in there. So what we've decided to do, we're going to try using a plate just to hold anyone that wants to float. Just because they float doesn't mean they're bad, it just means they won't be fully submerged. So maybe we're going to try to use a plate just to keep them fully submerged beneath the solution and see how that goes. Alright, so we got the bucket practically full. We'll add maybe another layer of eggs because we don't want it too full. And yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll let you know how it goes when we try them out this winter.